In June 1982, 32-year-old Lee Rotatori had just started a new job at the Jenny Edmondson Hospital in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Originally from Michigan, she had moved to Iowa ahead of her husband, planning to settle in before he joined her. She was staying at a Best Western motel while arranging longer-term housing. On the morning of June 25, 1982, hotel staff discovered Lee's body in her motel room. She had been sexually assaulted and stabbed to death. There were no signs of forced entry, and very little evidence left behind. Investigators were baffled. Her husband had a solid alibi and no one could identify any enemies or threats in her life. The case quickly went cold. For decades, the murder of Lee Rotatori haunted her family and frustrated local law enforcement. Numerous tips and suspects came and went, but none led to answers. That changed nearly 40 years later, thanks to advances in forensic genealogy. In 2021, investigators submitted preserved DNA from the crime scene to a private lab specializing in building family trees through public ancestry databases. The search led to a distant relative of the unknown suspect, and through careful tracing, police finally identified the source of the DNA: Thomas Oscar Freeman. Freeman was a known criminal with a history of violence, including armed robbery and kidnapping. But there was a twist. Freeman himself had been murdered in 1982, just weeks after Lee's death. His body was found buried in a shallow grave in Illinois, shot multiple times. Investigators now believe Freeman murdered Lee, possibly during a robbery or a brief encounter gone wrong. But the second mystery, who killed Freeman, became the next question. Detectives soon zeroed in on Thomas Freeman's killer, John Soroki, a close friend of Freeman's at the time. Soroki had never been charged, but rumors swirled for decades that he had taken care of Freeman over a falling out. In 2023, when police confronted the now 70-year-old Soroki with the DNA results and timeline, he confessed. Soroki claimed Freeman had bragged about killing a woman in Iowa, and that it deeply disturbed him, fearing he might kill again or possibly out of revenge. Soroki lured Freeman out to a rural area and shot him multiple times, burying him in a shallow grave. At the time, police hadn't connected the murder of Freeman to Lee Rotatori's case. Soroki was charged with second-degree murder and is currently awaiting trial. After 40 years, Lee's family finally received answers, thanks to modern DNA technology and, ironically, to another killer.